I never expected that day to change everything. I was sitting at my desk, reviewing some paperwork, when I noticed his car pull up outside. My heart sank as I realized he must have found out. He had been distant for a few weeks, colder than usual, and I had ignored the signs, thinking it was just stress. I tried to act normal, but the moment he walked in, I could feel the tension. His eyes were filled with hurt I had never seen before, and for the first time, I realized the gravity of my mistakes. I opened my mouth to explain, to beg for understanding, but he held up a hand. "Don't," he said quietly, his voice trembling but firm. My chest tightened as I saw the disappointment radiating from him, a disappointment deeper than anger, a sorrow that cut through everything we had shared. He didn't yell. He didn't throw things. He simply walked past me, collected his jacket, and paused at the door. "I trusted you," he said softly, and that simple sentence carried the weight of years of love and commitment. I felt tears prick my eyes, but I couldn't speak. I had ruined that trust, and there were no words left to fix it. As he left, I realized that sometimes the quietest actions hurt the most. It wasn't his anger that broke my heart, it was his silence and the unmistakable finality in his steps. The following days were unbearable. Every glance at my phone made me flinch, expecting a message that would never come. Friends asked what had happened, but I could barely admit the truth to myself. I had betrayed someone who had given me everything, and now the life we had built together was crumbling before my eyes. I tried to apologize, tried to explain, but I knew deep down that explanations were meaningless. Trust, once broken, cannot be easily repaired. Weeks passed, and I noticed the little things that made the betrayal even more real. He had started removing my belongings from shared spaces, cleaning out drawers, and taking back things he had once shared freely. Every object that disappeared felt like a reminder of what I had lost, each one carrying the echo of memories I could never undo. I tried to make amends, reaching out with messages and calls, but each attempt was met with silence or polite refusal. The heartbreak wasn't just in losing him, it was in realizing that my own actions had created an unbridgeable gap. One afternoon, I found myself walking past the cafe where we used to meet on weekends. I froze as I saw him sitting at our usual table, alone, reading a book. He looked up, and our eyes met briefly. There was no anger in his gaze, just a quiet strength and a sense of moving forward. That moment, more than any conversation, broke me completely. I understood then that he had already begun the process of healing, while I was still trapped in guilt and regret. Months later, I received a letter in the mail. It was from him, simple, handwritten, containing only a few sentences. "I hope you learn from this. I wish you nothing but growth and honesty in the future. Goodbye." I read it over and over, feeling the weight of his words sink in. He had chosen closure over revenge, dignity over resentment, and in doing so, he had shown me the true cost of betrayal. My heart ached not only because of what I had lost, but also because I realized the person I had betrayed was stronger, wiser, and kinder than I had ever been. Looking back now, I understand that the heartbreak wasn't just a punishment. It was a lesson, a painful, unforgettable lesson about the importance of honesty, loyalty, and the value of the people who trust you most. I had taken that trust for granted, and the consequences were absolute. There is no easy redemption for such mistakes, only acceptance and the slow, painful path of learning to be better. Even now, every time I hear a message alert or see a familiar car, I remember that day, the quiet walk, the unspoken words, and the shattering realization that some actions cannot be undone. My heart will always carry the memory of that loss, a permanent reminder of how easily trust can be broken, and how devastating it is when someone you love shows you the consequences in the most silent, dignified way possible.